there, and welcome back to the Legacy of the Allag series, where I, Demagen, dive deeply in, well, probably not that deeply actually, let's be honest, but I dive into the Crystal Tower series as a reminder of just what the hell is going on with the Crystal Tower, because it's going to form part of the bridge to a new world in the upcoming Shadowbringers expansion, which is now only 2 months, just under 8 weeks out. So yeah, let's jump into it. In the last 2 parts, we have attuned and unlocked the ability to enter through the outer defences, and then we penetrated the Labyrinth of the Ancients, which was full of trash and a few enemy bosses that died really quickly because the whole thing is a Zerg rush these days. And that's fine. I'm playing it for the story. That looked really... Oh, I think the window was out of focus, so the frame rate had dipped. So today we are going to, depending on how long this takes, we are going to unlock the next portion of the tower, the second of the 24-man raids released in the 2.x series. I can't actually remember when Circus Tower was released, and I actually have no idea if I'm pronouncing it correctly. It could be Circus or something, but I've always pronounced it Circus because I thought a lot of the outfits looked like clown clothes. Anyway, let's get on with this. Where is my UI? There it is. Rambos! Circus? I don't know. Circus Tower. Rambos is frustrated over Noah's lack of progress on the Crystal Tower. One of the other things that I've started doing, and I don't know whether I will serialise this, I've started playing the Final Fantasy III remake on the PSP, actually, because the PC version's a bit meh. Because I haven't played Final Fantasy III in like 20 years. I played it on a really old SNES emulator when I was at university, I think it was. It would have been like 2002-ish. So when I was just doing a bit of research about the Crystal Tower and the reminder of who Noah actually was, and then you've got Umi and whatever the NPCs that we're going to meet, I think actually in this episode, maybe this series. Yeah, it was like, I can't actually remember Final Fantasy III at all. And of course, as soon as you boot up Final Fantasy III and you're in the first section, you hear music. It's like, oh yeah, I know this music from the Crystal Tower. It's like, should be the other way around, Emma, really. It's been 20 years, man. I'm old. I'm right, 38 years old. Still playing video games though. Anyway, I might do something about Final Fantasy III on this because I don't remember any of the game at all. Also, I don't remember the voices that I've done for these guys because it's been a week or two. It is you, my friend. You're doubtless eager to hear of our progress on the Crystal Tower. All of the Rugadins get kind of deep, muscly, slightly Cockney, maybe. I don't know. I'm not an accents expert. You're doubtless eager to hear of our progress on the Crystal Tower. Excellent. I'd be disappointed to hear otherwise. Of course, disappointed is the word of the day, I fear. I'm ashamed to say, there's nothing worthwhile to report. The Suns continue to probe the Labyrinth of the Ancients, and every day brings new discoveries. Alas, the same cannot be said of the Crystal Tower proper. We've not been able to set so much of a single foot inside it. Grads here has a posh voice, remember. If I could roll my R's, doing voices for the cat people would be so much easier. But I can't. You will recall how the 8 sentinels stood between us and the labyrinth initially. In like manner, the entryway into the principal spire, Circus Tower, the Allagans called it, is also protected by technology far more advanced than our own. Sid and I have tried every trick we know, but without success. Frankly speaking, we're at a loss. It is discouraging, but we cannot give up. There must be a way in. And so the situation stands, my friend. Until we gain entry into the tower, I fear your talents shan't avail us. It will require time that I am loath to waste, but I have a mind to set my people to scouring such ancient texts as we have on hand. Perhaps we can be of assistance. And you are? Uni Ndoga. Be at ease, friends, for we share the self-same goal. I am Une, and my companion, even, is called Doga. We are scholars of the Allagan civilization sent by the students of Baldessian. I know how to pronounce that, it's been mentioned. Baldessian. To assist in your endeavour. Une Ndoga? Rather unusual names for this day and age. Ha ha ha! If I might be forgiven for observing, but I digress. Une and Ndoga are, of course, two of the main NPCs, I believe, in Final Fantasy III. They are both old and wizened mages of considerable power. But I digress. As do I. You claim to be here at the students' behest, but we have received no word of your coming. Moreover, in light of the recent incident at the Isle of Val, I should think they have rather more pressing concerns. Of course, this was back when the design... I'm going off on massive tangents here, guys. I apologise. The Isle of Val, which of course it disappeared during the 2.x storyline, was later repurposed, I believe, by the devs as Eureka. Now, I haven't done any of the Eureka story at all. I've never set foot in any of the various bits of Eureka. But I do remember reading an interview with Yoshi P, actually, I believe it was, that said that that was how they sorted, what to do with the Isle of Val. They turned it into the land of Eureka. I've read that bit. We can only assume that the message failed to reach you due to some mishap. I assure you that we are here to help. The eye! What is it, Gra? It is nothing. There was a pain, but it has subsided. Well, this is rather unexpected. Your right eye is the same as ours. Oh yes, they've got red eyes. How mysterious. The same? You have the Allagan eye as well? This sanguine hue is said to be a trait unique to the Allagans, yet I inherited it from my father, as he did from his. Only one child in a single generation is born with the eye. All my life I have sought to learn the truth of its manifestation. If there is aught you know, I implore you to tell me. My deepest apologies, but we have no answers for you. Only one thing is certain. Those who possess the trait are bound by fate to Allag. As your eyes placed you upon the path you walk, so too have we come here to fulfill our destiny. Absurd though it might sound, it is the truth. I'm wondering if I'm talking too low for the microphone to pick up. It seems to me we have naught to lose by accepting their aid. What say you? Nothing, because we are the Warrior of Light and we are mute. If that is your wish, then so be it. Yet know that I still mean to verify your story with the students of Baldessian when I'm able. I trust there'll be no objections. Nod. Very well. As of this moment, I name Une and Ndoga advisory members of Noah. Without further ado, let us have them examine the circus tower entrance. I promise you'll not have cause to regret your decision. Imogen, I should be much obliged if you were to accompany our new friends to the tower. Biggs and Wade are presently surveying the 8 sentinels. The 2 of them can show you the way. Upon arrival, I report to Master Garland. He'll brief you on the situation. I shall join you, Imogen. With Une and Ndoga's knowledge, along with your uncanny knack for setting events in motion, I am hopeful that we will finally see progress. Oh, ooh, what was that weird... Oh, is it because Gloom's up? Yes, it is. Right. Let us depart for the tower. Right. Pigs. Well, we didn't Imogen. Eager to enter Circus Tower and kill everything in sight, no doubt. As I'm sure you've already heard, though, the place is locked up tight as a clam. New friends from the students, you say? Excellent. It's been slow going, or rather no going, for the chief. He'll appreciate the help. If you just follow me, I'll take you to him. I'm glad I don't have to do Wedge's voice, because it's really high-pitched. And I've been teaching all morning, so... Fluids. Ah, Sid. Stumped, are you? I've decided to put the hat on, because I'm a red mage, and a red mage needs a red hat. Ah, some old faces to lift the spirits. And a couple of new ones besides. Allow me to introduce... I've forgotten already. What voice am I doing? Allow me to introduce Uni and Doga. They are scholars of ancient Alag sent here by our friends of Baldessian to aid in the investigation. We understand you're having trouble circumventing the tower's defences. It is our hope that we can be of some small assistance. If your tires ought to go by, your assistance should prove invaluable indeed. A door. It's a locked door. It's a door key. To begin with, let me tell you where we stand. Beyond rises a circus tower, the principal spire of the structure collectively known as the Crystal Tower. The only way to get inside is through the proverbial front door, the imposing gate you see here. Problem is we can't get it to open. It's sealed by some mechanism whose workings are an utter mystery to us. Having had no success via more orthodox methods, I went at it with everything from a pickaxe to a pickaxe to a Magitech cannon. Nothing so much as put a scratch on it. For a blessing, the gate doesn't try to reduce us to ashes like the 8 Sentinels, but that doesn't make it any less effective as a security measure. It's fiendishly frustrating in its simplicity. It's a door. The only clue we have is the elaborate device carved upon it. A man and a woman respectant. Allagan royalty, by my judgment. A man and a woman? How fortuitous that a man and a woman with red Allagan eyes have just showed up. Singular plural. Subject-verb agreement, folks. Precisely who these individuals were, we cannot say, nor do we know whether the device actually serves a purpose. Like as not, it is purely decorative. Ha! Wrong! Kind of. But wait. What if we do this? Da 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 da! If you think to force it, save your strength. It's no use. Just ask the calluses on my hands. Boop. Rest assured, we do not mean to waste our strength. Indeed. Why should we exert ourselves when the gate will open of its own accord? Oh. I don't think any of us expected that to happen. 7 Ls. What is this? What did you do? What are you? Mysterious. Mysterious is what we are. Piercing the heavens and gathering the light, a symbol of mankind's glory and might. Is this? Yes. Its virtue guarded by gates impregnable, only to those of royal blood answerable. Exactly as passed down through legend, I am delighted to see. Oh, Nero. Gasp. It's been a while, sir. Beg pardons for interrupting your bewilderment. I couldn't help but notice the remarkable playthings you have acquired. Nero? You're still alive? Garland, Garland, if I didn't know better, I'd say you weren't happy to see me. But I jest. In light of our recent meetings, you have every right to be wary. But rest assured, I am no longer a threat to you. My legion is, for all intents and purposes, defunct, and my association with it means a tight noose awaits me back in Garlemald. And so I've been roaming this land Eorzea, a regular itinerant. In the course of my wanderings, I chanced to catch wind of your latest venture. It sounded positively fascinating, and so I decided to come here and join you. After the wrongs you've committed, you think us that gullible? If you are suspicious of my intent, 'tis only my just deserts, but I am determined to make amends. As a gesture of goodwill, I will share with you what I know, starting with these two odd characters. As you are doubtless already aware, the Crystal Tower was the symbol of ancient Alleg's might and prosperity. Entry was permitted only to royalty and a select few individuals. According to the records I have unearthed, only royal blood can open the gates. In other words, the Emperor and his progeny were living keys. You mean to say that these two are descended from Allegan royalty? Oh, I suggest nothing so glamorous. What do you suggest then? To put it plainly, they are imitations of royalty, living keys born of Allegan ingenuity. They are clones. Clones, I believe, is the name your creators gave your kind. Is that not so? Bum bum bum. 'Twould seem the time. 'Twould seem that the time for concealment is past. Ooh, that texture work. Pray accept our apologies. 'Twas not our intent to deceive. We simply wished to avoid causing undue alarm by prematurely making what many would consider deranged claims. If it please you, let us return to the 8 Sentinels. There is much and more to tell. Meh. Nod. Actually, I'd look a bit daft with the hat. Something about the hair. Very well. Nod. So this opens up our access to Circus Tower. I don't know whether there's any more. Is there another quest? I can't remember. 7 L's. Do you seriously mean to follow us around? Come, Garland. You know me better than to think I spoke in jest. What more will it take for us to be reconciled? A gift, perhaps? Like the one I happen to have? An Allegan tombstone. It holds the information I just shared with you. And a deal more, besides. It used to be jealously guarded property of the 14th Legion, but it's yours now. I wish you joy of it. I look forward to working together, old friend. I do like Nero's face. A lot of time and effort was put into sculpting that facial model. It is one of the better ones. It's certainly better than the Emperor, whose face I've always thought was just a little bit dumb. If you are ready to listen, we shall tell you all. As it pertains closely to your investigations, your leader, Ramburs, may wish to be present. We're all here. Before we begin, pray allow me to apologise again. It was not our intent to deceive you. As you will have already gathered, we are not scholars sent by the students of Baldesion. Nay, we are clones, copies of people who once existed, given life through Allagan technology. That's rather a lot to take in. Really? If it would not be considered unseemly, might I ask why you and yours were created, and more specifically what it is that you now seek to do? Answering your questions requires that we revisit Allagan history. Pray bear with us. The Allagan Empire reached its zenith long before our kind came into being. In that glorious age, the Crystal Tower stood tall as the symbol of Allagan pride. Parents took their children there that they might learn how the nigh limitless energy it produced brought prosperity to the whole empire. That prosperity, however, bred decadence, and the empire began to show signs of stagnation. The decline was made all the more rapid for want of strong leadership. In a matter of generations, the Allagan civilization became a pale shadow of its former self. Its once gleaming cities fell into disrepair, and its frontier lands were given over to the wilderness. Lamenting the pitiful state of affairs, one technologist made it his mission to restore Allag to greatness. Aemon was his name, and he believed that the ailing empire wanted for but a potent ruler, and none was more potent than its founding father, whom he sought to resurrect. The founding father? You cannot mean Emperor Xandi. None other. As part of his experiments, Aemon created clones of the Emperor's descendants. We are the product of that experiment, copies of Une and Doga. Historical texts mention the reigns of two Allagan Emperors named Xandi. It was commonly believed that the second was the namesake of the first. After all, such a custom's not uncommon among royalty and the commoners alike. To think that the two were in fact one and the same. Aye. Xandi returned from the grave and assumed his throne once more, and true to Aemon's prediction, the Emperor restored his realm to the glory it once knew. Would that he could have been satisfied with that. In his previous life, the Emperor desired to bring the entire world under Allagan dominion, an ambition that ultimately went unfulfilled. Having been granted a second chance, he was determined to succeed. Realizing that he needed more power to wage his war of conquest, Xandi turned his sights towards a forbidden source, darkness. In order to learn how to harness this power, he converted the Crystal Tower into a restricted research facility. Darkness? Again? Seven Hells, what is it with megalomaniacal rulers turning to darkness in their lust for power? At least this one won't be bothering us, being thousands of years dead and all. Ha ha ha! Oh, Cid! Would that you were right, Master Garland. Shocks. Alas, Emperor Xandi is very much alive. Within Circus Tower he still abides, his ambition burning all the more ardently for his empire's collapse. Wielding the power of darkness requires prodigious amounts of energy that not even the Crystal Tower could produce. In order to augment the shortfall, Dalamud was created and launched into the heavens. On high it hung, gathering the sun's energy and channeling it to the tower below. However, a miscalculation resulted in a surge of energy that escaped into the land. This triggered an earthquake of unprecedented violence, a calamity that ushered in the fourth umbral era. In the blinking of an eye, the mighty Allagan Empire was laid to waste. Yet, even as the Crystal Tower was sinking into the earth, the technologist Amon, now Emperor Xandi's closest aide, invoked powerful magics and halted the flow of time. Every soul within the structure, the Emperor included, was placed in a deep slumber. In that state were they to remain until the time was ripe to awaken. And I think we might just awaken them up. Eras came and went. After millennia lying dormant, Dalamud was summoned back to the earth. Its descent triggered the seventh Thumbal calamity, in the wake of which the Crystal Tower re-emerged. At that moment, Emperor Xandi awakened, and he sat there brooding. In his lust for power, the Emperor consorted with darkness, and was seduced by its corrupting influence. Even though his empire is now little more than a fading memory, he will stop at nothing to see his ambition realised. Ruh-roh. 'Tis for no other purpose but to put an end to Xandi's madness that we exist. This is the mantle we have inherited from our namesakes, the true Une and Doga. Fearing what might befall the world, the two of them sought to thwart their emperor. They gave unto us their will that we might carry on their mission should they fail. When we came to our senses within the Crystal Tower, we deliberated a course of action. Concluding that we alone could not overcome Xandi, we struck out to find a worthy ally. It has taken years, but our search is finally over. 'Tis no ordinary woman who could cut a path through the labyrinth of the ancients. With you as our champion, we are confident that we can end Xandi's dark ambition once and for all. Well, that'll teach me for speaking too soon. Set my chagrin aside, I see now why you knew about the students of Baldesion among a host of other things. You were observing our investigation the whole time. So, what will we do, Dema? The world's in grave danger again, and it just so happens you're an expert at saving it. We help, of course. You have our eternal gratitude. Together, let us see the Allagan Empire's dark past laid to rest. Yes, let's. It's been our mission to recover the long-lost knowledge of the Allagan civilization. But what worth is that knowledge if it means subjecting the realm to peril? Truth be told, it pains me to think that the Tower's secrets may become lost to us, but the greater good must ever come first. Besides, no quantity of ancient relics can compare to our friends Une and Doga, living, breathing Allagans. Kinda. And so I hereby declare a change in Noah's objective. Henceforth, we shall direct all efforts towards sealing off Circus Tower. Its dark secrets must never know the light of day. Temujin, as you did for us within the Labyrinth of the Ancients, I'd have you enter the structure and eliminate hostile elements. Suffice it to say, this includes Emperor Xandi himself. I can do that. Meanwhile, the rest of us shall examine ways to isolate Circus Tower from the outside world. To work, then. Nods all around. Nero's having none of it. Wait, there's something I must know. My right eye is like yours. Does this mean... You inherited the trait from your father, you said. Know that clones are unable to bear offspring. You have no cause for concern. The Allagan Eye, you called it. but to us it is the royal eye, owing to the fact that the trait manifests only in those possessed with royal blood. I cannot well explain why the eye runs in your line, but I am disinclined to think it a coincidence. Though you are doubtless impatient to learn the truth, pray have patience. All will be revealed in due time. Aye, aye. Spoopy castle, tower, crystal, castle, whatever. A lot of cutscenes in this one quest. My apologies if we've given you cause to worry. I'm quite well, I assure you. As you can appreciate, there's been much for me to think on. Now is the time for action, not idle thoughts. Circus Tower awaits us. Your task is to eliminate all hostile elements within the structure, Xande himself included. This will afford us the chance to seal off the facility. May the crystal grant you strength. And we all look up at the Crystal Tower. I should take a screenshot for the thumbnail. Circus Tower now accessible. And yeah, straight into the actual quest. Straight into the actual raid. Duh. But not this episode. This episode we're going to leave there. Thank you very much for joining me. What have we learnt so far? And how does this tie to Final Fantasy III? Unei and Doga, obviously. Crystal Tower, obviously, is a big reference to Final Fantasy III. Xande, I believe, is also a reference. In fact, isn't it Xande, Unei and Doga that are friends? As I said, my recollection of the plot for Final Fantasy III is so vague. Oh, that's the duty finder icon. Nero's helping us out. Not entirely sure why, but it's clear that he's interested in the research. Cid doesn't trust him. Do we trust him? No. And though I seem to recall, actually, he is on the level. That may be a spoiler. Well, it is a spoiler, but this is old content, so whatevs. The Allagan Empire. Massive. Amazingly successful, but stagnated, as great empires tend to do when they've got no more innovation to give. Fell into ruin. Amon, who we get to fight as the third boss, I think, maybe, in Circus Tower. He's got a great hat. He resurrected the Emperor, and Xande turned the tower into a massive research facility using Dalamud and harnessing the power of darkness. Of course, the third raid in this series is the World of Darkness. So are we going to completely and successfully shut off Circus Tower in the next episode? No. No, we are not. I had forgotten, though, how cool the Allagan sets look. I don't know whether you were actually able to get them looking like this when they first came out. There are dialable versions of these now, but they do look really cool. The Allagan gear, I remember when 2. Whatever this was first came out. I seem to recall that you could get this gear in the Binding Coil as well, at least looking like that. You couldn't get this gear in the 24-man raid, but I didn't do the Binding Coil. I have done a chunk of the Binding Coil now. I've soloed a chunk of the Binding Coil at 70. I haven't finished it though. You've probably heard me say that a lot. I haven't done this. I haven't done that. For somebody who is a story-centered gamer, there's a lot of story in Final Fantasy XIV that I just haven't done. But a lot of it is tied to the raiding stuff, and yeah. But I do enjoy the 24-mans. I do enjoy the 24-mans. The Ivalice stuff is really good as well. Anyway, that's going to be it for this episode. Thank you very much for watching. Sorry about the slight cutting in and out. Work kept phoning. Yeah, happens. To be popular, eh? To be popular. Thank you all for joining me on this trip into the legacy of Allag, and I will catch you all in the next video where we will venture forth into Circus Tower. Until next time, take care. Thank you very much for watching. If you enjoyed the video, click the like button and subscribe. Remember to ring the bell notification icon to get notified when new videos go live. And until next time, toodle pip.